Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
All right, super excited. We got Joe Hollywood in studio. But most importantly, the man whose name is on the show, Braylon Edwards, is here from the very get-go. No golf today, no pickleball, no weightlifting. It's already been done. It's all about being here for the next couple of years.
Fitness is essential.
Good job. Well done.
You know I'm always ready.
So we got you at the tail end of the show yesterday. Yeah. We're glad we got you today. You were at Jets camp. I want to hear all about it. Ricky's here. Kool-Aid's here. Anson is here to talk and share some of his knowledge. Really excited for that. With Joe Hollywood, who is the king of whatnot, but the king of cards and all the things that you want to know about when you're trying to do some collecting. He was there in Chicago. Anson was there in Chicago at that national event, and I'm really excited that they're going to be in here at 2:30 with us. Let me just start the show. We kind of start lightheartedly, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes I am just like, I always pick the wrong line when I'm at the grocery store. Every time I go into a public bathroom. So just in here, just going in there, quick, had some water, got to get rid of it, right back here. Every single time, somebody's knocking on the door for something else, if you get my drift. What the hell is it with my luck that every time I go into a bathroom, somebody's in there reading a paper? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't the doors go all the way down to the floor?
Right.
The doors should go all the way down to the floor.
Like
Am I wrong there?
Like that old building we used to work in on Halstead.
Why is that such a difficult concept to understand?
Is
privacy all the way down to the floor. I don't need to see your toes tingling and then figure out when I'm walking out of there, that dude just laid one down, and it was, I can tell you what he had for lunch.
No tingling toes?
Yeah, no
public
tingling
bathrooms
toes.
they're very suspect, especially when you get out in public. I tend to try to stay away from it if I can help it, but sometimes you gotta go, and somebody else in there had to go a little bit more than you.
Yeah, right.
Apparently that is the case.
Apparently so.
And guys have no shame, as we all know.
They don't.
Yeah.
100%. I think there's less shame these days. There's a little bit more shame when I was younger. These days people just really don't care.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
The Jets care an awful lot, enough to have you out there at camp. How did that go for you last week?
Shep, look, man, I'm glad you asked. I love the New York Jets organization. I played for 4 teams, in my tenure in the NFL, and I respect all the organizations, and I appreciate the opportunity. But some franchises, they just know how to go above and beyond the call of duty. And I think, the Jets, they do that for me. They bring you in first class ticket, put you up in a nice hotel. They bring you into camp, and they make you feel a part of what's going on. I felt that last year when Aaron Rodgers, the year before that, and I was at the first game where he tore his Achilles. They do a really good job of that, so shout out to the Jets, and I appreciate you. Camp was good. I got a chance to go out there, and it very is reminiscent of 2022 when you start to see that the team is buying into what Dan Campbell is selling. Even though they went 0-6 to start the season, we know how that season finished. The team is buying in. It looks a lot different as you see the picture in the background. It's crazy. Braylon with Braylon. Like that. Braylon with Braylon. Everybody kept shouting it out the whole time, and I had to get a picture. Shout out to Tyrod Taylor, who is one of the older players in the league, so I actually played against him. He's doing really well. He actually looked better than Justin Fields, in my opinion. But when you get paid to be ready all the time, you're always going to look good. Justin Fields trying to implement the new system, but Braylon looks good, and I could talk about that too. But they look much better. Looks like they're buying.
I like that, man. It says legend on it.
You like that, right?
It says legend. Braylon Edwards right there.
That's what the Jets do.
Shout out to our guy, Braylon.
Not
pretty
bad
sweet.
for 3 seasons worth of work.
That
you know what I'm saying?
is not
just
bad
over 2.5.
at all.
Not bad for that.
Yeah.
But
you look good there, man.
I appreciate that. And so did the Jets. In a sense, it just looks different. They don't look distracted by all the things around it. Looks like Aaron Glenn, who we watched for 4 years, helped build Dan Campbell up on that defensive side. And a little bit more to that because the team was buying in. The practices were fast. They were crisp. Shout out Donovan Edwards. You see him, Edwards with Edwards.
Yeah. Hey.
At one point, I was standing right next to Braylon Allen and Donovan Edwards, and one of the trainers said, "Look, Braylon Edwards with Braylon Edwards." It was kind of cool.
That's really good. Yeah,
but I
like
like the fact that I've got a chance to watch Aaron Glenn with you guys for the last 4 years, and then watch it work in practice. Guys, Sauce Gardner last year when I went for practice, he was tuned out to what the head man was saying. Head man being Robert Saleh. He was tuned out. He was tuned out to practice. Wasn't listening to the guys. I saw him taking tutelage from Dre Bly. I saw him locked in. When Aaron Glenn spoke after practice, I saw the guys hanging on every word. That's how you build a culture there. So, and also Nick Folk is back, who actually was the kicker when I was with the Jets. So how he made it this long, I don't know. But they gave him number 18 because this is his 18th year in the league.
Lavernius Cole's there, a picture.
One of the best to ever do it for the Jets.
Yeah, 2 outstanding Jets receivers. What kind of Jets swag did you bring back for Kool-Aid and Ricky?
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
So,
invite that.
way to put me on the spot. So there's a new equipment manager.
Okay.
So what I was able to do is meet him, talk to him, get a feel for him, get a vibe for him. And what I did was, I didn't ask for anything. Okay. Because I said, you know what? I don't know this guy yet. I don't want to ask for anything. Yeah. Don't you know I got an email from Armando that said, Braylon, we appreciate it. It was nice to meet you, man. We're going to put together a nice package for you, so don't worry. We'll get you a big duffel bag and a bunch of stuff. So
very cool.
I should have a lot of Jets things coming within, a week or so.
So we could decorate the Braylon Edwards show with some of that, could we not? We could put maybe a Michigan helmet on one side and a Jets helmet, or a Jets helmet and a Cleveland Browns helmet, or maybe a San Francisco 49ers. I mean, let's spice things up a little bit. We've got guests in here. Okay, Joe Hollywood's in here. He wants to see all this stuff,
this
right?
This is true. Hey, you know what? Give me teams. Jets, Seattle, 49ers. Let me get some of that stuff. Cleveland, let me get some of those helmets and put them on the desk. I like that.
Here's the reason I say that. We've got some nice stuff in here right now, folks. It's all behind us.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
What's the
point?
No justice.
It does the fans no justice.
Yeah, so.
It needs to be on the desk at Woodward Sports, along with the Ven Johnson, Mike Flags, and all that other stuff. So tell me a little bit more about Aaron Glenn, because I'd love to know what you think he learned most from Dan Campbell and how he's implementing that into the Jets, number one. And number two, we always talk about a culture change when it comes to sports teams that stink. One team stinks, that means they need a culture change. I don't know if you think the Jets needed a culture change, but it sure seemed like the front office felt that way. How has he implemented his culture change?
I think with any team, when you're trying to get things on the right track, you got to have a level of discipline that they understand. You got to start with that. You got to let the guys know, I am not here to be your friend. Like, we will eventually get to the friend space. We can eventually become, but your job as a player is to do what you're supposed to do. My job as a coach is to put you in the best position to win games. And I think that's what Dan Campbell did his first couple years here. Like, it wasn't all cheesy and hunky-dory in 2021. It wasn't cheesy and hunky-dory until halfway through the end of 2022. You started to see the guys turn the corner. You started to see them buy into, what he was trying to implement. And so I think that's what he did a good job of. When I watch practice with Aaron Glenn, he's getting on guys. He's not letting guys breathe. He's getting on Sauce Gardner if he needs to. He's getting on Justin Fields when he needs to. He needs to get on Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. He's getting on the players, but then also you see the same thing you saw when he was here. You see those teachable moments. You see him pulling the guy to the side on the sideline, whether it's a DB, whether it's an offensive lineman, and you don't know the conversation, but because of the temperament, you say, oh, he's coaching him up. He's giving him a little love right here in these situations. And then, you have some fun. You score some touchdowns. You let the team have a little bit of fun, talk a little bit of stuff to each other. But then you reel them back to get it on pace. So I think the big thing for them, they need to be disciplined. They weren't disciplined in the last 3 seasons, just in my estimation. You want to bring Robert Saleh? Fine. I don't think it was just him. I think it was that whole organization wasn't disciplined and had gotten too lax. And the inmates basically were running into a certain extent. And the inmates weren't the players, if you catch my drift on that one. So I think he's implementing that. He's getting them back dialed in. He's getting them disciplined and letting them have a little bit of fun, but not too much, because it ain't about fun until you win. I use ain't for effect.
Is that the player side of you sticking up for the players, as in the inmates running the asylum, or are you serious about that?
There's a bit of a lot going on with that. It's not just on the players in that sense. Yes, that is me sticking up for the players when you got organization and the owner who won't communicate with the head coach, and then you send the head coach out the podium looking like an idiot. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, it's not necessarily all his fault. And now how are you going to have players kind of listen to this direction if they see what it looks like? And it looks the same to them as it does to the people on the outside. Goofy.
Yeah. How many first-year coaches did you play for? First time they were a head coach.
Rex.
Do you remember?
Yep. Rex's first year. Romeo Cornell's Eric Mangini's first year. Maybe this explains my career. Maybe this is. Oh, you know what? Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh was year one. Romeo Cornell was
at
year
the
one.
professional level.
At the professional level.
Yeah.
Mangini was year one, and only person that wasn't year one was Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll had been there.
And what was the noticeable difference between the first-year head coaches and Pete Carroll in your mind?
The tenseness. Like, you can just feel it. It's as thick as a knife. Like, the worry, the confusion, the concern. What's going on? Am I doing a good job? Am I doing enough? Like, this is getting off the rail. Do I blow the whistle now? Do I not blow the whistle? Do I let this fight take place? Do I not let this fight take place? Seems like the defense is struggling. I know I'm a defensive mind. Do I say something to the defensive coordinator, or do I allow him the room to grow as a coach? Offensive coordinator doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Do I say something to him? I'm not really an offensive guy. I don't know. I saw all that. Meanwhile, when I got to Seattle, smooth as butter. The system was the system. Like, he understood the guys, the players knew what they could do. There was fun when it was supposed to be fun. People look at Pete Carroll and they see him playing quarterback. Yeah. And you see the Monarchs that are like size 16 and he's only like 5'5". I don't know. I don't understand that. The shoes, that is. He's fun. He's laughing. He's always got a smile. He's chewing that gum. He's got the head moving. When it's time to get serious, Pete Carroll don't play that. Pete Carroll's an old school guy. He's 70 plus for a reason, and he acted that way. But when it was time to have fun, he was cool, and players acted as such. When you treat players like men, they operate like men, and that's why Seattle was so successful in that tenure.
I would have guessed of all those coaches, Eric Mangini would have seemed like the most over his head type of coach, and yet he won double digits his first year there with you in Cleveland, even though he had a losing record overall.
You know what? I actually lied about that. Eric Mangini's first job as a head coach was with the Jets.
Okay.
Then he got fired and came to the Browns.
Okay.
So technically, you can scratch him off the list.
Yeah, because it was
Romeo Cornell.
You're right. His first year was with the Jets, 10-6.
Yeah.
Cleveland, his first year, he was 5-11. He's 5-11 both years.
Yeah, I got up out of there before them other 11 losses.
Yeah, for sure. So did you notice much of a difference with Aaron Glenn from when he was here in Detroit?
Yeah, in terms of a practice, just he was dialed in. Like Aaron Glenn, when he was defensive coordinator, you would see him talking to everybody. You can have conversations. You can see the energy, whether you were a media, whether you were a player, whether you were whatever. You can talk to him a little more loose, a little more having fun, hat to the back. He's got the cards in his back. Everybody knows running around with the back cards. He's not like that. First person I saw when I got off the elevator in the morning, when I was on my way to practice, I saw Aaron Glenn, and I thought it was going to be this big, huge exchange. And I thought it was going to be this big, huge exchange. Former Jet. He's coach. I just got back from the year in Detroit. It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, how you doing? Glad to have you at camp. And he kept it moving. And to be honest, for 2 seconds, I'm like, damn, coach don't like me. I said, what did I do? I thought we were good. You could go Jets, Jets. Yeah. And then I had this conversation with Lavernius coach. Shout out to LC. Love LC. He's a great dude. He was talking about how the switch flipped. LC's known AG since they played together for the New York Jets, and he was talking to him when he was defensive coordinator. He said he came up to Detroit and hung out with Aaron Glenn. He said, he was able to find out what the Lions are doing, and he just seemed more chill and laid back and smooth. But he said when you got that crown on your head, when you have all those people on your shoulders, when all the responsibility is now on you, you can't act as cool as you can as a coordinator. You have to be dialed in. And so once LC said that, I'm watching him. He was laser sharp focused every task, every conversation, everything that he was doing. You wasn't getting more than a finger snap of a second with him. Like, this is anybody unless it was something involving the practice of the players. So, but it looked like he had control of it. Like a lot of people in that space, when you start to wear the crown, you start to get nervous. You look like you're second guessing things. People can see you sweating. I couldn't see that with Aaron Glenn. I saw a man that knew what he wanted, that understands what the mission is for the New York Jets and how he wants to do it, and he was implementing it.
What was the sense you got from players and Jets alumni while you're out there
Loved
about
him.
that hire?
Loved him. Nick Folk's only been there 3 days. I told you. I played with Nick Folk. He was there when I was there. He's come back. He was there for 3 days. He said, it feels like a breath of fresh air, and I wasn't even here. He said he's smart, he's sharp, he's scheduled, he's got everybody laser focused, he's disciplined. He's going over the discipline. The reason why I keep bringing that word up is because when you go to a culture that doesn't have that, like, it is important to put that in place, especially nowadays. 2025 cats are young. It's different era. It's different day. You got to put that in, because if you allow things to get cool in the beginning, you'll never be able to get it back. Like if Dan Campbell would have came in here and been buddy and friends and cool and you guys are professionals and we'll figure it out together, he would have lost this thing. They started 3-13-1. They started 3-13-1. Then they started 0-6, and somehow they got to 8-2 in the last 10 games, and they've gotten to where they've gotten. That's the same thing they're trying to implement in New York. Like, we're not here for no BS. We're here for the game film, game study, break down, get friends with the people you're going to be on the same sides with. Learn that man to your left, learn that man to your right, learn that playbook. We'll have fun when we win.
Yeah, they kind of broke the mold. I mean, I think a lot of teams, what they do, we've seen this as a little bit of a history in terms of how they hire coaches. One offensive guy, it departs, they bring in a defensive-minded guy. Or one rookie head coach departs, they bring in a veteran, experienced guy. The Jets went solid defense, Glenn defense. I know they can coach both sides of the ball, but that's what they're known for. They went first-time head coach. Why do they think it's going to work this time besides the obvious discipline?
Because first time you go, you're getting a guy out of Robert Saleh out of the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers, their image is Kyle Shanahan. They are Kyle Shanahan. Defense was really good under Robert Saleh there. They had a lot of success, but they're Kyle Shanahan's team, 100%. Robert Saleh, you don't know if he can build a culture. You don't know if a guy can come here and be the guy. Yeah, he's a good defensive mind, but what outside of that do you know? Defensive players kind of like him. AG was a guy that was voted by the players the number one coordinator in the NFL last year. That wasn't number one defensive coordinator. That was coordinator. He was voted by the players. So that lets you know the players he has that mind. Also, you saw what he was doing here. You saw the teachable moments on the field. You see what his defense was, but if you want to take it outside the realm of the X's and O's, you saw how many times you see him coach Kirby Joseph after going off on him. Yeah. How many times you see him get after Brian Branch. How many times you see him come to when a player needed him, put his hand on Aiden Hutchinson. Look, I get it. You're getting the hurries. You're close, Aiden. You're close. But you got to find a way to slip those two guys and get to the quarterback. Like, that's how you teach, and I think it's just different with him. Also, he's hired guys around him. Like, you don't have to.
I think that's the key.
Don't be the smartest guy in the room. Dan Campbell is a very good observation of that. Dan will tell you he's not the smartest person in the room, but he's going to get the guys that know what they're doing. You can say what you want to about Ben Johnson. One of the guys up under him to help him put the offense together is now the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. They need that, and the system looked a lot better. Last thing, and I know I've been talking, I'm done. Physicality.
Nah, I'm listening, bro.
The physicality. That's what he got from Dan Campbell. That's the answer to your question.
That's good.
The Jets are a really good defense. They got, player-wise.
Yeah, they were.
A couple years ago, really good defense. That physicality, you know what I heard from the trainers? They said, we haven't tackled in practice in 3 years.
What?
They said, we haven't tackled in practice in 3 years.
It's football.
They said, that's what I thought. They said, guys going to the ground, guys thudding up, guys tackling, getting to the ground. That's how you have success in this league.
Not every day.
Not
right?
every.
I mean, you got 17 games, Ricky. So it's not every day. But
Not
to
every
not
day.
practice and to not tackle in practice at all seems very strange. And what I love most of what you said there is, it's okay to admit what you don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So for example, we're having Joe Hollywood on here in a moment. I don't know his world.
Yeah.
He knows it like the back of his proverbial hand. That's
an
how you
amazing world,
learn.
too.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn, it's okay to come in and say, you know what? I don't know everything. I'm going to lend I want your expertise. Lend your expertise to me so I can learn and grow a little bit.
You know what happens, and this is a great jumping off point. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
3 years ago, they go to the Super Bowl, right? Have a great, amazing offensive coordinator, becomes a head coach in Steichen. Has amazing defensive coordinator, becomes a head coach in Gannon. Well, Nick Sirianni, he can do it. It's him. He's got the same team. He's got the talent. He hires two bums at the offensive defensive coordinator position to hire a bunch of coordinators thinking that you can do it. they don't get it done.
Right.
Nick Sirianni has to now realize I ain't the smartest man in the room. It's not because of me that the Philadelphia Eagles are this good. It's because great coaching around it. What do? Let me get Vic Fangio. He's smarter than me on defense.
Let me go get Kellen Moore.
Smarter than me on offense.
Right.
Now you won the Super Bowl. So admitting is the first step. I think that's what happened with Jim Harbaugh his last 3 years in Michigan.
I do too. Look, you admit that you don't know everything, but really good managers. We see this in business. It sure doesn't have to be sports, but good business. You know what they do? Yeah. They hire people who are really good at what they do, and then they trust them to do their job. We trust Ven Johnson to do his job because not many do it better, right?
If you've got a crisis, let Ven point you in the right direction. Step 1, verify with details and photos. Step 2, engage. I'm not talking about police. Engage your attorney. That's right. Ven Johnson should be your attorney of law. Engage. Step 3, you notify your insurance provider. Get justice with Ven. Ven Johnson Law is where you should go. He's the fighter, and he wants to fight for you. VenFights.com.
And if you're looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. They are located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. So book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com, or scan that QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate relaxation and recovery and relaxation.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's hot summer sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The hot summer sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We're in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here, do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
What up, though, people? You guys already know we got to talk about those Feldman specials. Go on ahead and get a jump by scanning the QR code above my head right now. You got 5 locations you guys can get into to get these deals. Feldman is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Highland, New Hudson, Novi, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials: the 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. Lease that one for $189 a month, man. Hey, I know you guys gotta have that, right? The 2026 Equinox LT, lease that one for $209 a month. You see it there with the all black, the blacked out rims, a little bit of the tint. It's looking nice and sitting pretty. I know it drives even better. These offers, they end August 10th, so get there quickly before everything starts over. And we'll see what's what, man. But we got to make sure you guys are fresh as well. Woodward Tigers, man, you guys see the gear there. We got to get the mojo going. Continue to get the gear. Let's support these Tigers, man. Wear it proud. You guys already know where to get it. It's in the Woodward Sports merch shop, woodwardsports.com. Click shop. We got hoodies, tees, hats that are guaranteed to turn heads in. Get the latest designs today only at woodwardsports.com. And again, make sure you guys click shop. And we back.
You know how you meet somebody and immediately you have a really good relationship because of their personality, because they like to talk and they're interested in the same things you are?
Thank you for that, Shep.
I felt the same way about you too, Shep.
That's well played, boys. Well played. And both of you fall into that category, but so does Joe Hollywood.
Hey!
Joe Hollywood is the king of whatnot, and he's fresh off his visit from Chicago, where they had the largest in the country, dare I say the world, of sports and other paraphernalia where you can go and collect collectibles, and nobody has them like he does, and he joins us here in studio in the Braylon Edwards Show. Joe, great to have you here in town, in this state, and inside Woodward Sports. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great. Really excited to be here, especially when the show takes a pause and I hear the conversations in between. I love it. I love it.
Sometimes
I love
that's the best stuff, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Joe, before we get the show rocking and rolling, man, you got to tell the good people out there who can't see the boot on your right foot, man. You got to tell them how you got that boot, because I think it's a great story.
It is. So what happened was we were raising money for the North Texas Food Bank. What I'd like to do is use my channel for good. And what I mean by that is we love giving back to people. We love giving back to charities and organizations, and we've done a few of them where 100% of the proceeds, after the fees that we pay on the platform, it all goes to that charity. So someone had made a $10,000 donation. I got excited. We're all wearing cowboy hats.
There you go.
Lesson learned, Guido shouldn't wear cowboy hats. I'm just letting you know right now. So, and went ahead and started trying to do like a line dance or a square dance with a couple of the other people that were there, and I felt the leg pop. So felt it pop. It actually happened towards the beginning of the show, and we just got a gigantic bag of ice. They took electrical tape, taped it to my leg, and I finished the show with it. He has the pictures of it. Literally, had to do it.
That's what I'm talking about. We're going to have to get you to see Dr. Pierce, man, Injury Insider, man.
Right. So we were just talking about the difference between being hurt and injured.
I like that.
Joe was injured, and you can, but please, go to his channel. It's great stuff. He's got great content. Yeah. Joe Hollywood, you can do that. And who did he have on recently? Bo Jackson. Who else did he talk to recently? Dennis Rodman, although Joe did most of the talking. Who did Joe have on recently? Chauncey Billups. There is that connection.
Chauncey Billups.
All the guys that you want to hear from, Joe Hollywood has on his channel. We invite you to go to it. Tell people about how you got started in this business. It is a phenomenal and, dare I say, inspirational story.
Well, thank you for that. And I have to tell you, it's a crazy story to me because I never imagined, first of all, even speaking about my childhood passion and then being able to utilize it in building a brand and building a channel. So grew up in a broken home. And when I was, my dad left when I was 4. And when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my grandfather bought me my first pack of baseball cards. And I was hooked. It was 1985. I was 8 years old. And went ahead and just started my baseball card collection. I always said, my baseball card collection was going to mean so much to me, and continue to collect these cards. Took a little bit of a break for a couple of years when the internet started to become popular. Braylon, you probably weren't even born by then. AOL, when you hear the little tone.
Yeah.
That way, when you choose to dial into the internet, you see a little beep.
This thing's never going to work, right?
I'm 42. I remember 1994, 95.
All right. I'm trying to give you a little credit here.
I appreciate that, but thank you, though.
All right, you got it. So, and then what would happen is you would have these chat rooms, and let's say you wanted to collect Kobe Bryant cards. All right, then you'd have to go to a total stranger, buy these cards from somebody you never met, sent them a physical check, wait a week or two for that check to actually clear, and then for them to send the cards back. And some of the times, that money never came back to you. Sometimes if you had an honest person, the cards came back to you. That's how it was. Fast forward to where we are now, moved down to Georgia, lived in New York, and I'm in Georgia, and we're bouncing around Atlanta trying to find a home, our dream home, my wife and my 3 kids, I absolutely love so much. And we finally find a home that we love, the home that I'm going to retire in. And now my wife finds out that I have all these cards in storage. And when
she
she
didn't know.
sees, listen to me.
That's great.
She had no idea the scope of the collection. And so basically the movers are coming in and they took all the stuff and they said to her, we need another truck. And when that happened, there was a little bit of an issue in the Joe Hollywood house. And so we get all the cards. They literally it's floor to ceiling. And she's like, what are we gonna do? We gotta start selling these things. And so we decided, instead of having a rummage sale, a garage sale, we would do it online. We would do it on Whatnot because it's an easy process. It's a lot of fun. It's entertainment. It's great people on the platform. 99% of the people on the platform are unbelievable. And we started selling on the platform. And for the first 9 months, I probably had the worst show on the platform. I was selling on a ping pong table. I was selling on my kid's train table. On the back wall was all cement bricks in my gym, so it looked like I was streaming from a prison. I mean, it was terrible. And so one thing led after another. People started to catch on, and grassroots, no Instagram following, no TikTok, no social media, and now we have the #1 show for sports on that platform.
That is awesome. I think the most impressive thing is your dad leaves at 4. You're on food stamps.
100%.
How are you making your money to try and get more baseball cards and sports cards in general?
Had to be gifts, and so that was the thing is, so when I'd have a birthday, everyone would be like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And you have to remember, cards weren't that expensive back then. They were 35 cents a pack, 40 cents a pack. Now in 1987, they were 40 cents a pack. So even though it wasn't that, I mean, I know the rate of inflation, right? But it still wasn't as expensive as cards are now, right? You go to a Walmart, even a retail box, you're spending $40, $50. Yeah, exactly. Right, for a mega box or even a blaster box, sometimes $20 or $30. Back then, it was a lot cheaper.
Love it.
So that's what I would ask for every year. Just get me cards. That's all I wanted.
Random question. You said you started collecting cards in 87?
Yeah.
87?
85. 85, my first
85.
one, yeah.
I started collecting cards around 89, 90. You know, what were the couple players that did it for you, like, back then? Because back then, it still was fun. Like, now it's fun, but it's business-oriented. What were the players that used to get you, like, okay, I got a Ricky Henderson, I got a Nolan Ryan, I got a Jose Canseco, just because his last name. Who were some of the guys for you?
It's so funny you said that. It really is. And we didn't talk about this before
No,
the
we
show.
didn't. This is not.
Ricky Henderson was my favorite player
Same.
growing up. My absolute favorite player. Like, he is the person that got me involved in baseball and literally involved with sports. He played for the New York Yankees. I grew up in New York. He got traded from
That's
the
when
A's.
he had the Jerry curl.
Oh, he did
he
the
had
snatch catch in the outfield. I know the world about Ricky Henderson. Talked about himself in the third person. It was amazing. And then, I mean,
It's all right. Kool-Aid does the same thing. Go ahead.
The Ricky-isms are hilarious. The Ricky stories are great.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And unfortunately, he recently passed
rest in
away.
peace.
Actually passed away. So crazy story is we're opening up a 1980 box of baseball, and it's BBCE certified wrap, which means it's been completely untouched. No one went through it to look for the Ricky Hendersons, and we're opening up the box, and somebody in my room says Ricky Henderson passed away, and I'm like, there's no way this is happening, right? Like, I don't believe it, because it's late on a Friday night, early Saturday morning. They're saying Dave Winfield put something on X, and wouldn't you know it, a couple of hours later, we verified it to being true, and it was the first time I ever opened up 1980 baseball on my show, and it was just like I just took a moment, because then you think about it's like that attachment that you have to the athletes when you're growing up, and I think that same attachment, like you have a Ricky Henderson, you said that was your favorite player, my favorite player too. That's how people are with their athletes, and how it goes into cards and memorabilia, because they take that same passion that they have for them, and they said, hey, we want to have what's called a PC, a personal collection, and they really do admire those athletes, because I think a lot of people see themselves in those athletes, and I think that's why it's so collectible and why it's so attractive to so many people. And you know what I love right now is that you're finally starting to see it catch on in women's sports. There is such a huge attraction right now. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, you're starting to see it in the WNBA. They're finally starting to get that recognition as well. It's awesome to see.
You're right about that personal connection. Obviously, I told you, Ricky Henderson, Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson back at that time. But I lived in Atlanta. So, like, I was born here, spent the first 6 years. I moved to Atlanta in 89. I was on there 89 and 94. Well, you know who was cooking with grease at that time is the Braves. When I would get a Dion, or I would get a Dave Justice, or I would get any one of the four-headed horsemen of the pitching staff, whether it was Avery, Smoltz, Gladden, Maddox,
Or a Chipper Jones. Yeah.
A young Chip at that time, young Chipper Jones. Like, I would go through the roof seeing those jerseys, and don't let it be the Braves jerseys with the blue. 100% the personal connection.
Yeah.
Well, the Braves back then, I know those Braves teams too because that was really in the heart when I was collecting. Yeah. It was that big four. They had that huge starting lineup, and then they had that closer, which is Mark Wallers, who is now actually a real estate agent in Atlanta.
No kidding.
Is he really? Absolutely, 100%. So I remember those teams, and when the Yankees, I'm a Yankee fan, we faced them in '96. That was I have to tell you, I was a little intimidated going against that team, but we pulled it out in 6 games.
Yeah, plus they had a dynamic center fielder in Andrew Jones, one of the greatest center fielders of all time. Yeah. So when you had a guy like Henderson in New York, because you're a Yankees fan, what about when he played for the Mets? Did you actually root for the Mets when he played for?
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
All right.
I've learned that about New York, not to cut you off. Playing for the Jets, tell me I'm wrong. You'll have Giants fans, and they'll come up to you and say, hey, we like you, Edwards. We won't rock with the Jets. Like, they'll like a player, but I never understood it. I said, you guys got 2 teams. You legitimately both can go to the Super Bowl, and then you can choose who you want to support.
That's why I asked him, because you can actually root for a player, but not for the Mets.
But it's about territory.
Yeah.
Like, and they stick to the territories. I think that's how the fan base started. It's the territory, the city, the area.
You take a side, right? Yeah. And you take a side. And if you like both teams, if you live in New York and you say, I like the Yankees and the Mets, I don't think people really consider you a true sports fan, unless you're on the radio, right, and you got to cover both teams. I think that if you don't take a side, I think people kind of look at you a little bit crooked in New York. It usually goes like this: Yankees, Giants, Knicks is usually the way, and Rangers. That's usually it.
They're not the stepchildren.
No.
The Jets, the Long Island, it's freaking Nets, Jets, Nets.
The Nets.
They all rhyme.
Look, the Nets had Durant.
Yeah.
They had Kyrie Irving.
No one
They
cared.
had James Harden.
Yeah.
It was Game 6 or Game 7 against Milwaukee in their building in Brooklyn. You could have heard a pin drop in there.
Yeah.
If you were having that game at Madison Square Garden, I'm telling you right now, you couldn't hear the person next to you.
The shoe game?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I do think the Knicks are probably the most overrated franchise in sports. I really do. I think there's a lot of people who feel like they're some king of NBA, and I don't think they're all that special. That's just my opinion.
I can answer that. Well, there's a reason, and you have every right to feel that way.
Yes.
They haven't won the Knicks haven't won a chip since 72, 73.
Correct.
Right? And I actually just recently met Will Clyde Frazier, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your entire life. Actually sat down with my son Joe and just was going through stuff, but yeah, everyone has the right to feel that way. I mean, since 1973, that's a long time. Was it 52 years ago? We haven't won anything in 52 years. They got in there 93, 94, right? Patrick Ewing, John Starks goes 2 for 17, 2 of 18. John Starks is a great guy.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit a shot in that game. And then after that, we get it against the San Antonio Spurs, and that team was loaded.
Do you like that they got rid of Tom Thibodeau?
I got mixed feelings about that.
I do too.
I have mixed feelings
really
about that.
Yeah.
I love what Tom Thibodeau did for the culture of that squad. It is exactly what we needed. We had an albatross around our necks. I mean, we went through David Fizdale. We went through Jeff Hornacek.
They didn't give him a chance.
You guys are.
They didn't give Fizz a chance.
That's a good one.
Listen, we went through the litany of regurgitated coaches and like Kurt Rambis. Like, listen. Great. Listen, love Kurt Rambis when he was wearing goggles on the Lakers. Big fan, right? He went to the Suns after that.
Yep.
I didn't want to see him run on the triangle for the New York Knicks. I'm sorry. Like the triangle worked for the Bulls because of one reason. His name was Michael Jordan. And then a second reason, his name was Scottie Pippen. That's the reason why the triangle worked. If you try in today's NBA, I'm sorry, I just don't think that it works.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, last thing from me regarding New York, because I want to talk more about your channel and your business. The Yankees are spiraling out of control. They've got Derek Jeter.
Isn't that every year at this time? And then they figure it out somehow.
I don't recall them having this type of wayward travel this time a year ago. But when you have all-time greats like Derek Jeter coming out publicly saying, they're just not playing good ball, they're not smart, they're not being disciplined and things of that nature. Aaron Boone, who I think is a really good dude, I do. It doesn't mean that he's a great manager. They've got some issues what do you think the level of confidence for Yankees fans is right now among American League teams? Not the World Series, American League teams.
It's a great look. Here's the way that I'm going to put it. They were very active at the trading deadline.
Yeah.
And anytime you have a team that's very active at the trading deadline, they picked up a few bats. They revamped their entire bullpen. All those guys came out and did what that guy was doing in the bathroom when he was knocking on the door with you this morning, right? Right? That's what they're doing right now. They're giving up 4 runs.
Way to bring it back around. I like that a lot.
This guy knows what he's doing.
I'm bringing it back full circle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
you are. Yeah.
I mean, it looks atrocious right now, but they went to revamp that bullpen. I got to tell you, the last time I remember the Yankees going this strong after their bullpen, they won 4 World Series after the last 5 years. And that was from '96 to 2000.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a minute to gel. And I think I'm going to be with Braylon on this one. I think end of August, early September. I don't want to roll against the Yankees. Not with a healthy Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is coming back today. He's been on the IL for the last 10 days.
I get it.
I think a healthy Aaron Judge brings everything together.
Right. That doesn't help Devin Williams, but I hear what you're saying. Fair enough. Okay.
No, that's fair. And that comment right there goes exactly to what I was going to ask. When you guys think about the Detroit Tigers, if you do, what is the thought right now with the Tigers playing like they're playing this season?
8-2 in the playoffs.
Well, first of all, you have one of my he got a bad rap in New York.
Gleyber!
You got to understand, I'm a huge Gleyber Torres fan.
Okay.
And I think Gleyber is the real deal. I think he's going to, as long as you guys keep him, I think he's going to be the standard in the infield. I also got to tell you, Schoolball's the real deal. I mean, oh my God. I mean, love watching that guy pitch. So
you might see him in Yankee pinstripes.
I'm sorry, you both said
you might see him in Yankee pinstripes if they don't do something that they're supposed to do.
I don't like to hear that, Shep.
I'm just saying.
I love hearing it. I love hearing it.
All
Sorry,
I said was
Detroit.
Listen. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you weren't thinking it. You were thinking it. You've been thinking about it. You've been thinking about it for over a year.
I don't want to hear it.
Just because I said the quiet part out loud doesn't mean you weren't nervous even before I said that quiet part. Joe, can you stay with us for another segment, please?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, good.
I do want to share one thing real quick.
Please do.
The Pistons were one of the reasons why I fell in love with basketball.
I love that. I want to hear more about that.
Oh, man.
I love that. Kool-Aid's got to leave the booth. He's all lathered up right now.
He's coming out in a second, give him a big hug. That's a great transition.
We're hungry for more information from, no question, from Joe Hollywood. But first, we're hungry for Buddy's Pizza.
Yes, sir.
Braylon. Yeah. Oh, that would be me.
I was just going to say that. We went
I
there
was like,
I do have to tell you this. I don't know if Joe's ever had Buddy's Pizza.
We went there last night. I was just going to say this. We went last night.
As a New Yorker,
we went to Buddy's last night. Hold on. It's all because of my assistant, Double A.
Put the Buddy's thing up.
I
Nice
said,
Double
where are
A.
we
Good
going
job,
for pizza?
baby.
He's
Smart,
like,
man.
we got to go to Buddy's.
Okay.
So we go to Buddy's. We order the 8 square, whatever they call it. And we order Detroit 8 square.
Detroit.
Original crust, original Buddy sauce, no frills.
authentic stuff.
Just authentic, right? Got the minestrone soup. And we did order macaroni and cheese, which we still have almost the entire thing in the fridge. And just to try it, I'm telling you right now, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Loved Buddy's. It was
that's
awesome.
as a New Yorker.
That's someone who loves New York pizza.
That's a New
that
Yorker
was
right
awesome.
there.
Yeah, but what a butt. I mean,
There
Double
we
A
go.
making it happen.
Double A.
You are right on.
yes.
I could not have said it any better, Buddies. I couldn't have said it any better than Joe Hollywood.
There it is.
All right. How about Jack's
You
Car
hungry, go
Wash?
to Buddy's.
Jack's Car Wash. You got something on Jack's Car
Oh,
Wash?
is that- you
Don't
know
you
what's-
love live TV?
Yeah, you get to see things like live in action. First of all, I swear by Jack's. I've been a member of Jack's now for the last 20 years. I go all the time. They know. Drop my truck off during the show, pick my truck up after the show.
I have noticed that.
Oh, 100%. It's
Good for you, Jack.
It's also a free parking spot, too. It's very smart because Birmingham, they
It
will
is.
get you.
It is smart.
They will
yeah.
get you. But look, I love Jack's. They do a great job. One of the last places that will detail your car the way you like it. Now, that wasn't even the read. Here you go. Join the Unlimited Club and take advantage of all the perks of being a member. Watch at any of our 40 plus is a lot. 40 plus locations. They will all treat you like the Jacks that you know and you love. Twice a month, membership pays for itself, upgrades, interior cleaning, and detailing 8 different locations across Michigan. Now, those are just the detailed, special detail spots. So check out Jack's, man. Pull up one near you. They will give you the service that I swear by. I use them. I love them.
Why?
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
So, you're a Detroit sports fan, huh? Well then, make sure you subscribe to all the Woodward sports pages on YouTube. We have Woodward Baseball, Woodward Pistons, and of course, Woodward Hockey. Get breakdowns, updates, and bonus coverage of all things Detroit. So pick your favorite sport and follow along with the best Detroit sports coverage ever made. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's Hot Summer Sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The Hot Summer Sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
You know him, you love him. Just played his outing yesterday. He is Dr. Jeff Pierce, the injury insider. Scan his QR code above my head. He will get you in the game. You don't have to be a retired athlete like me. You can be whoever you want to be, and he will get that diagnosis right so that you can get healthy, so you can feel good about yourself and go back to your regular day-to-day. 248-426-9944 or scan that QR code above, man. He is the guy. Get the guy that D-Mac trusts. When he was winning all those Stanley Cups, guess who was helping out on the medical staff for the Red Wings? It was none other than Dr. Jeff Pierce. He's been doing this for a long time. A lot of greatness comes with him. So scan the QR code, call the number.
Plus, I believe he said he carried that foursome yesterday at the golf tournament.
That's cap. That's all cap.
That's what I was
That's
told.
all cap. Doc hit better shots yesterday than he had been in the past. Don't get it twisted. Yours truly was a putting dynamo. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to get back with Joe Hollywood here in a minute. He is the king of whatnot. Check out his channel, Whatnot. Oh,
it's
hi,
my
Ricky.
turn, Shep.
Oh, my bad.
I'm on the show too, Shep.
It's my turn now. Move over.
Hey, Shep, can I go? Can I do my read?
Just, you know what? Next time, do me a favor. Just say, shut the blank up.
I know. I was thinking it,
Okay.
but
I don't blame you. I'd be thinking it too.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
let you do your thing.
Go
It's
ahead,
cool if I
brother.
go? Okay, cool. Now, if I told you placed a bet $1,000, if you lose, you get your bet back. You probably think I was crazy, but I'm not. Scan the QR code and try it out, man. Or you can enter the code Woodward1000 and your first bet. If your first bet doesn't hit up to $1,000, you'll get it back, man. Minimum bet is $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today. It is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use that code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code. Now you can go, Shep.
All kinds of comments in the chat, including a legendary guest, Joe Hollywood. It's
No, he is
awesome
definitely
to
that.
visit with him, the king of whatnot. Check out his channel. And he was in Chicago recently at the National Sports Card Convention in Chicago. And it's the largest in the country. I believe it's coming to Detroit in 2027 or 8. I think it's in Chicago pretty
2028.
regularly. 2028. Thank you, Joe. And our Anson was there, and you had a chance to catch up not only with Joe Hollywood, but with a lot of other things that were going on there, right?
Absolutely, Shep. I appreciate it. I was there last year, and I got an opportunity to meet Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, the originator of V Friends Cards, who happens to be a friend of Braylon Edwards.
JETS.
So we put together a little clip that we talked about it last year. Now, fast forward a year, and I had a card that Braylon and I had him sign in studio last week, which I got to bring to the show. Now, I had two people I had to meet at the National this year. A, I had to meet Gary, and then B, I had to meet Joe Hollywood. I'm going to get to the reason why I needed to meet Joe in a second, but let's take a look a year later at our follow-up with Gary V.
Braylon Edwards, former Jet, signed this in studio for our guy, Gary V.
Braylon, this is for you. This is just for you. I'm sure I've seen him, I think, say it on the podcast. I met Braylon day one after that trade at Kerry Rhodes' house. I got so much love for Braylon. I love what you guys do. Thank you, brother.
100%, man.
So if you guys caught that, you guys had a party at Kerry Rhodes' house, apparently that's where you guys met, Bray?
Nah, Kerry was always doing things, like he was kind of like light years ahead in terms of branding yourself off the field. That's actually inadvertently we got him dismissed from the Jets. Rex was trying to go in a different direction. He didn't like all the off-the-field stuff that Kerry was involved in. And one of the deals was Gary V, and he told me about him and what he was. And so when I got traded to the Jets, it was over at Kerry's house, and Gary V was there, and we were just vibing out, having a glass of wine and talking about life. And I just saw the direction in which he was going, so it's no surprise to me, how big his motivational, just everything that embodies what Gary V is in the V Foundation. It's no surprise to me that he built that thing up, because I watched the passion. That day, you're talking about 2009 in October, I want to say. And now, fast forward, 16 years later. They're still doing this thing, man. So I appreciate him remembering that. Yeah. He's at another level now. So, I'm saying, maybe
it's a good story. I like that.
It's a great story.
And no surprising me, after a year of us getting on his radar, he is a fan of Woodward Sports now. He told me that he's been watching, and I said, well, me and Bray need to get you out there to Detroit. He said that he'll make that happen, so we'll dial that in for you guys, Woodward. However, I found this Whatnot app a year and a half ago. Now, if you're not familiar with what Whatnot is, they call it commerce-tainment. And for the last 5 to 7 years in China, this has been the #1 way of selling goods. Think of QVC when you were younger, mixed with Instagram Live or TikTok. So you have a built-in function where you can actually be buying cards or comics, vintage clothing, electronics. The app is endless. If you want to buy it, you can find it there. But when I got onto this app almost about 2 years ago, I ended up on Joe Hollywood's stream. And now Joe Hollywood, he is breaking some of the most rarest and vintage boxes, sets, 1986 first-year Fleer basketball, the OPC 79 Wayne Gretzky stuff. He goes way back, and he's got the best product there, but he also has the best audience there. Over the last year and a half, I've watched him absolutely explode and become the true, undisputed king of Whatnot. Now, a quick story before we get back to Joe. He ended up in one of my early streams, which, as a young streamer, that's a huge honor. So he comes in. Not only did he just tip me and give me money, which is a function on the Whatnot site, he then bought a bunch of cards for me, including a Dennis Rodman rookie, which I didn't really want to give up. But it was Joe Hollywood. I had to sell it. So after he purchases all that, he says, take everything I just purchased and put it in the giveaway for somebody else in the chat.
Are you kidding me?
And keep the Dennis Rodman for yourself and give it to one of your kids one day.
How cool is
Since then, I told Stick about this guy. You guys all know our fearless leader, Stick. And I told him, I'm going to have him on Woodward. And sure enough, I looked for him all day Saturday, found him towards the end of the show on Sunday. He remembered me, gave us a great clip, which if you guys saw on Twitter, we were excited to have him on the show today.
That is awesome.
Here he is in Detroit, took time out of his day to come and see us.
Love it.
Joe, I've been manifesting this for a year and a half. I can't thank you enough for your inspiration, getting me just dialed in on Whatnot, seeing it as my future, and obviously a huge thank you for making it out today. We got to hear, though, about your Pistons background, my friend.
Well, I'm just as grateful, right, to be here with this opportunity, being with Shep on the Braylon Edwards show, talking sports, talking about cards, talking about social selling, talking about what the future is going to hold, and things that I genuinely absolutely love. I mean, what an amazing job this is. Like, this is something that is incredible. You have the opportunity to share your opinions and your observations to people that are genuinely just as interested as you are about sports. And I'm not sure it gets any better than that.
Let me ask you this, though. How come you never went the media route, considering your passion for sports, your knowledge of sports, well-spoken, obviously phrase your opinions well? Why wouldn't you take that route in addition to what you're doing now with all the collecting?
Never too old, Shep. I'm never too old to do
All
that.
right. Okay.
So maybe this is the
Did you
springboard.
say Shep?
I said Shep.
Oh, I said Shep. I said you're channeling your Carmelo anthem.
That's all right. He can call me whatever he wants. You know,
No, I said
people
Shep.
call me a hell of a lot worse than that. Trust me.
No, I'm
You
never
never
too
call you a
old.
liar, though.
They
Never
have
too
not.
old. Maybe
They
it's a
have not.
springboard.
Yeah, that is, it's really cool, man. What I love most about our little conversation here, and even during the commercial breaks, is when I'm not interrupting Ricky, is the passion that you have, but also the versatility that we can go. I mean, you, Braylon, and I have talked baseball, we talked football, we talked basketball. It is interesting that you have a love for the Pistons a little bit. How did they create that passion for the game of basketball for me?
So we couldn't afford cable, right? So I have one of those little TVs.
A lot of people can't do that now, Joe.
well, back in the 80s, it was definitely a lot more expensive, definitely a lot more rare than where it is now, right? And so had the rabbit ears on the TV, and I remember them talking about Vinny the Microwave Johnson.
Hey, shout out to my guy,
007.
Vinny. I got a story about Vinny.
And I thought it was awesome. But we didn't have a microwave in our house, and I was like, oh my God, they call this guy the microwave. I got to find out why. And he heats up real quick. And I was like, wow, that is really cool. And then I started learning about the team. They traded for Mark Aguirre. They made that acquisition, and how they were talking about that for Adrian Dantley, and just building that team with John Sally and Bill Laimbeer, the bad boys, Rick Mahorn, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars. And to me, that was a basketball team. That was a solid up and down basketball team. They fought, they had grit, they didn't back down from the Bulls. And you have to understand, I'm probably the biggest Michael Jordan and Kobe fan you'll ever meet. And even though they always slaughtered the Knicks, but
That's probably why you became a fan, though.
I'm sorry?
It's probably why you became a fan. You got to see it in person.
No,
your squad.
I got to stay with my Knicks. Listen, there's one thing about me, it's loyalty.
I don't blame you. Good for you. I applaud that. I would only say this as a Detroiter. Okay, Braylon can disagree. I'm not sure you can be a Pistons fan and a Michael Jordan fan, considering what he said about that era of Pistons basketball. People roll their eyes, shake their heads at me because I say this far too often. When you're going to come out, and I think he's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen, by the way. But when you're going to come out and you're going to say Pistons were not good for basketball, screw you. So that's where I have a hard time, okay? That's a really challenging time for me because I have to admit he's the best of all time. But when you say that about my favorite team and a team that legitimized championship, won back-to-back, could have easily won 3 in a row and has some of the greatest players in the history of the sport, and to keep their star player off the Olympic team really bothers me, even to this day, and I got to let it go.
Shep's my spirit animal.
4 in a row. I just wanted to correct you. 4 in a row. I'm just saying 4 in a row. Could have been 4 in a row. Could have been 4 in a row.
Well, they played for 3 championships in a row.
Yeah.
I think quite honestly, I think the '88 team was their best team.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when they got the phantom call on Laimbeer, and I don't want to get into it, but you understand where I'm going with it.
100%.
Yeah. So but I love your passion. I respect the hell out of it. I love that you love your teams, because if I were in New York on your show, this is what I'd be talking about with my teams, right? And I love certain things about New York. I really respect what the Yankees do at Yankee Stadium. I've said this forever ad nauseum. The Monument Park is fantastic. This is a franchise that has the most championships of any sport in North America. And they, even though they got guys who are not Hall of Famers, there's a chance for young people to go out and learn about Don Mattingly, who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. I don't know why more teams don't do that. They should. They should copy that. Like the Tigers should copy that.
I think a lot of teams don't copy it because everyone looks at it as a Yankee thing. They basically branded it.
Yeah.
And I think that when you have other teams, when they see that, they want to build their own identity. They want to build their own brand. I agree with you. It would be really cool to see some of the players that aren't in the Hall of Fame, that might, or that are fringe Hall of Famers, but are really something special to the team. That would be amazing. I think you're going to see it in a different direction. I also think that as sports popularity becomes even stronger, and it is. I think we're we're seeing sports popularity at all-time highs right now, especially when you include women's sports. When you see this, I think you're going to see more and more teams try to develop that identity. They feel like a lot of teams just don't have that identity. And that is why, when we were talking about the Pistons, when you said Michael Jordan didn't like that they were bad for basketball, I think what he really meant to say, it was bad for his brand of basketball. Because he had a fight, he had a grind against those guys. They never made it easy on him. You know, as a Knicks fan, I remember this very classic Jordan cut where he's head-to-head with Xavier McDaniel.
Yes.
Right? And Xavier McDaniel, forehead to forehead, and they headbutt against each other. And then Jordan says, you know what he says to Xavier McDaniel? If you don't, watch it on YouTube. And I loved Xavier McDaniel for that because he didn't back down from Michael Jordan. And then, of course, he signs with the Boston Celtics, and my love for him just dissipated.
Well, Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley was a Knick, but he was also a Bull.
That was Michael's best friend. And still is Michael's best friend.
Yeah.
But he was a badass. Yeah.
He was the enforcer. He was the guy that was going to protect Mike.
And by the way, Charles Oakley, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Actually met him with my son, signed a napkin for my son in the middle of like God knows where. And then a week later, I saw him in the airport, and he looked at me, he just smiled. He's like, I can't believe I'm running into you again. I ran into Charles Oakley 3 times in 2 weeks.
Here's a great Michael Jordan, Charles Oakley story. And this story might make you not like Michael Jordan even that much more. I'm in Miami, it has to be around 2009, 2008, with a friend of mine, my boy Larnell. So we're playing spades at the Fountain Blue, playing at the pool party in the Fountain Blue, playing some spades, getting after. One of my boys who's like a party, promoter deal out there, he said, "Man, I got Mike over here in the suite, in the cabana. You want to come over here?" I said, "Yeah, What Mike you talking about?" He said, Mike. I said, "That's only one Mike. You must be MJ." So I said, "Sure." We go over there. He said, "Hey, what's going on, Cleveland, right? Yeah, sit down. You play some spades." So we play spades. It's me and my boy Larnell versus Oak and Jordan.
What? That's crazy.
Swear to God. Told this story a million times. First hand, we destroyed Mike and Oakley. First hand, we almost ran to Boston.
Oh, man.
It was 11-2.
Wow.
11-2, and I'm sitting next to Oak. Oak's from Cleveland. I already know Charles Oakley because he's from Cleveland. He used to hang out in the flats when I first got drafted. Oak leaned over. He said, "You shouldn't have done that." So now I'm watching as Michael Jordan in this spades game is cheating on purpose. Like if you know how to play spades, he's legitimately cutting the first heart to be played after like 3 cards have been played with a 3 of spades. He turned around and played that 3 of spades 2 hands later.
What?
Because it's Mike. Nobody's gonna say anything. And I lean over to Oak. I'm like, "Oh, he just cheated out there." He said, "Let him do it."
No.
He said,
"For money?"
No.
We weren't playing. We weren't playing for money. Like we weren't playing for money. Like that's in this 100%. We weren't playing for money. He was out there cheating. Because we beat them so bad the first game, he's now cheating. This is like, my guy is Mike, but I'm so conflicted. I don't know how to.
I was in a really good mood.
No. But the story gets better though, because now looking at the story this way, I actually don't mind that my boy said this part. So now, as we lost that game, we ended up losing the next one. And then after that, I was done. I ain't feel like playing anymore. My boy Larnell told Michael Jordan to his face. He said, I always wanted to tell you this. I think Kobe's a better player than you. When he said it then, I was pissed then. I'm like, why would you tell that to Michael Jordan? First of all, I let you sit down next to Michael Jordan. This is what you say. Now looking back at this story, 16 years later, good for you, Larnell. Good for you.
I want Larnell to sit next to Joe Hollywood. That's how much I like Larnell. I can't believe you as a competitor allowed him to cheat and get away with it. That stuns me.
Shep, first of all, it's easy for y'all to sit here and say that. Look, this is Michael Jordan. He's the greatest basketball player, greatest athlete ever at that time. I'm sitting down. I'm in his presence. No, I don't care that he's cheating because you know what? We're not playing for money. So why I'm going to sit there like, damn, Mike, you going to cheat me? No, this is MJ. Fast forward, I saw Michael Jordan 3 years later at an All-Star event, which I had no ticket to get into. Mike remembered me, got me in, and my dad and my boys, set us in the suite and took care of us.
Oh, okay.
Now, should I really have pointed out that he cheated in a game I really didn't care about? I really cared to be in his presence? If we playing for some cash, I disagree. Agree to disagree. Mike took care of me, my dad, and 4 people there.
I would have beat it with the same card.
Because now if I'm arguing and security come over, I'm like, man, no, he already cheated.
That's a great point.
What is that?
That's a great point.
No,
You're
Michael
making a
Jordan
scene.
cheated me.
Who are they going to take to Sido?
Sir,
Not Larnell,
sir,
unfortunately.
Take your ass over here.
That's a good point.
Take yourself right over here and get up out of here. So look, he cheated. It is what it is.
So
I got the story.
Yeah, and Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Bo Jackson could arguably be the greatest athlete of all time.
Agreed.
Joe Hollywood had him recently on his channel. What did you learn about Bo that maybe you didn't know before?
I actually asked him, and by the way, Bo was terrific.
Yeah.
He was absolutely terrific. I had no idea what to expect, but he just reminded me of like a really down to earth, great person. And so I asked him. I said, "What was it?" And actually, it's starting to go viral right now. I asked him on stage. I said, "What was it about Yankee Stadium that always made you torture us?" Because he hit 3 home runs in a game. He would throw people out at home plate that had no business even running on his arm. Mm-hmm. I remember watching this as a kid. I loved Bo Jackson. In '87, that Future Stars card was one of my favorite cards ever. He said it wasn't New York, and it wasn't the stadium, and it wasn't you guys. It was the owner. And he starts talking about what happened with Steinbrenner. What happened is George didn't want him to go to college. He wanted him in the outfield. And he wanted, and according to Bo, he said he wanted both his Jacksons in the outfield. And Bo said, no, I wanted to go. He was 8 of 10, and he was determined to go to college. And I guess they had a little bit of a little friction, and that motivated Bo to do even better at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
And he said it live. He said it was like one of the first times he's ever admitted that. And
That's
it was
a great
very cool.
story.
And he did it on the main stage of the National.
Pretty cool.
Which is the largest card collecting universe you could ever possibly imagine, from Whatnot to Fanatics to everywhere in between. You're going to have somebody that is part of the hobby that is going to be there. I mean, you're talking about tens upon tens of thousands of people that are there on a daily basis. And he's finally saying that. It was just, it was mesmerizing to hear that.
Players can tap into something extra. It's weird because then people are always like, well, why can't you be like that all the time? It's rare. It's when your mind is like, this is what I have to do in these moments. The Miami Dolphins told me they were going to draft me in 2005. Thought I was going 2 overall. I started wearing pink linen shirts and white pants, and I bought a condo on South Beach. All the things you shouldn't do. Although real estate is always a good thing. So I'm doing all these things. I'm excited. I'm telling people going to Miami. This is it. Well, they don't take me. They take Ronnie Brown. I go to Cleveland instead. Every time I played the Dolphins, I scored a touchdown or I had a big game. Like my very first start in the NFL was against the Dolphins, 4 catches, 95 yards. My first game as a New York Jet, Monday Night Football, 2 touchdowns against the Miami Dolphins. 2 touchdowns against the Miami Dolphins that year again. I had another I hated the Dolphins, but in that moment I can tap into something like, yo, I don't care what's going on. I got to get these guys. So yeah, I know what that feels like.
That's
not like Bo.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
Yeah,
and Bo did it as a White Sox and as a Royal. You constantly do it, Joe Hollywood. It's awesome to have you in studio. Really enjoyed getting to know you. It's no wonder so many people love your channel. Yeah. Keep up the great work. Go to his channel, Joe Hollywood. All right. He is the king of Whatnot. You are welcome anytime, sir.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I hope that I can come back. And if anyone 100%. In your audience wants to see some of the rarest cards, some of the rarest packs and boxes, Friday nights we go literally 30 hours straight, no breaks. Whoa. We go from Friday night, 8:18 p.m. Eastern, and we go into Sunday morning. And we do that, and I do it nonstop. I don't fill in with anybody else. We go straight through, and yeah, we do it constantly. And it's one of the best feelings I have.
2 Jets games this year, man. I'll look you up.
You better.
2
I would love that.
I'll be at the Bills game, and I got to pick one later in the season.
That's cool.
I would love to do that. Okay. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
You and Joe Hollywood. Make sure you send us pictures now. And make sure it goes on his channel and ours.
No, we definitely
1,000%.
100%.
We'll set something up.
I would love that.
We'll return the favor.
That'd be a lot of fun.
We'll return the favor.
That'd be great.
You
Thank
will get it done. And just like you'll get it done if you go to Black Rock for a really good steak.
Black Rock, look, man, you need to go there for the steaks. I know we're so busy talking about the summer giveaways, and man, are the summer giveaways good. But let's not forget, Black Rock is one of these spots, man. The price point is exactly where you want it to be, and then the food is exactly where you want it to be. That's 755 degrees, man. I'm telling you. But all right, here we go. Week 8 of giveaways. It's time to give you more. Next up, with your chance to win that Traeger grill. I promise you, scan the QR code above my head. Black Rock Bar and Grill wants you to win a Traeger grill. A lot of time left in the summer, and then guess what? Football season is around the corner. Plenty of time to tailgate. You want that. But then also, it allows you to get a chance to win 4 tickets to the Big Ten season opener. There we go. I had to slow down a little bit sometimes. giveaways, summer, Black Rock, check. Scan the QR code above my head.
You know, we just got done talking with Joe Hollywood. He is the king of whatnot, the king of selling cars. Buick and GMC is Les Stanford. Great offers for everybody. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special, $599 a month plus tax. We were driving the other day. My wife said, why don't you get, because my car is coming up. And she said, why don't you get one of those? Get that 2025 EV SUT Hummer. And I thought, I'm going to have to test drive that. I'll take a look. I'll talk with Les Stanford. Don't forget about the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation Lease Special for only $169 a month. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. All kinds of colors, everything you want. Les Stanford, Buick, and GMC for all these specials. Go to lesstanford.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Armani and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness, as you can see, is essential. But right now we're talking about the teens, 14 and 19. Look, you guys work out for free. We are already in the month of August, so you don't have much time. You still got a little time. August 31st is the cutoff for the high school summer pass, where the high school kids get to work out for free, or just teens in general. Take advantage. Mental health is very important as much as physical health, so we want to do two things at one time. No judgment to Planet Fitness. There's a membership, and then there's a trainer with all of that, man. Come to Planet Fitness where it's fun. This is what we do. We won't judge you. Let you work out at your own pace. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
You see that build? I mean, what do you think? Where do you think he gets that? He just doesn't pop out of bed in the morning and, open up a box of cereal and get that. That's work. It's work through Planet Fitness. And same thing with a haircut. When I first came in today, Neil Rule was getting a haircut from a lovely young lady here at Lady Jane's. Neil's time is valuable. Your time is really valuable. Nobody knows that better than Lady Jane's. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you're in the chair, you're having a nice conversation, a professional haircut, you're out the door, you're looking sharp as Braylon Edwards. Maybe not as yoked. We're just going to start calling him Egg because he's yoked, right? Maybe not as yoked, but looking really clean. Lady Jane's is open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Believe me, it's wicked awesome.
Braylon forgot his shirt today.
No, it's a tank top, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to give one last shout out to Joe Hollywood. You can follow him at whatnot.com/Joe Hollywood. He's also got the Joe Hollywood Show, so you want to follow both of those. And while you're on Whatnot, go and check out Woodward Sports as well. Whatnot.com/Woodward Sports. But if you want to catch Joe's next show, Friday night, he's got 5 of these Braylon Edwards rookie cards that Braylon just signed for him. So go and check out his show. As he told you, 30 hours straight. He owns the weekend, the king of Whatnot, and we really appreciate him coming out and appreciate you for taking care of these, Braylon.
I'm going to be honest with you. I like him just as a guy. I mean, sometimes we have guests in and you feel like you're pressured into talking about certain things. Just a dude. And look, New York is much different than the Midwest. I've said that forever. I love Midwest people. I think they're down to earth. Joe's probably the most down to earth New Yorker I have ever met.
Yeah.
And you know that better than I do because you were around New Yorkers every single day for a long period of time in your professional career.
It's a lot of cool New Yorkers like that. Maybe I say that because I played for the Jets and I developed a bond and relationship. It's a lot of cool ones like that. For all the a-holes and the crazy ones you get a lot of them out there that are super cool, super chill. It's funny watching Anson's attitude and tune, though, when he had his boy in here. Because Anson was calling those New Yorkers peasants, you know what I'm saying, for the last 6 months. We got to talk about that because he was real chill in here. He was like, oh, Joe, you're so great. Joe, you're so... I mean, great, Joe is cool, but Anson was quiet.
Oh, my God.
What happened to the peasants?
Yeah. He's got to put a bib on because he's got a fork in one hand and a knife in the next. Give me some more Joe Hollywood. Let me cut that up. Am I wrong? I mean, that is one big slap fest. All right, let me ask you this question because we didn't really get a chance to talk much about the Lions preseason game. I'm not going back to over all these different things and the quarterback situation. We can talk about that later in the week. But I do want your take on Dominic Lovett and Isaac Tesla. Not whether or not they're going to make the team. Tesla is going to become, I think, a starter. I've said this for a while. But how you judge rookie wide receivers in what most would consider a meaningless game.
Yeah, it was a meaningless game in terms of the score, in terms of the first, second team and all that kind of thing. I did not like the turnovers. I did not like the mistakes. And that was a big thing that we said. It doesn't matter who's playing. You still wanted to represent what you are. The Detroit Lions are now one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't care who's out there. I still wanted to look like they watch film. I still wanted to look like they take it serious. So outside of that, no stake placed in the game. But you talk about Levet. Levet has some skills coming out of Georgia. He's a receiver that I paid attention to. He had 2 drops. One was kind of like a 50-50 ball that was taken from him, so you got to make those plays at this level. Another one was just a pure drop. But he has some great route running ability. Let me not say great. We put great on everything.
Yeah.
We quick to say elite. We're
He
quick to
ran
say
the
great.
routes correctly.
100%. He was a good route runner, efficient route runner. He was in the spots he was supposed to be. He had separation that he was supposed to have. So I like that. I think the Lions are in the market for another guy, kind of like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that can wiggle a little bit, that can move in there and do some things. So it was interesting. I like what I saw. Want to see more. I don't want to see the drops. I don't want to see them happen again. But Tesla, as you say, I got it right that time, at least I think. I'm excited to see how he grows because I think they can use some good things with him. He's a big frame. He catches with his hands. I always say that because that's important. You can catch the ball with your hands. You can catch all the other stuff. You can catch when the ball's on your body or when you're in traffic or when you got to go over top of somebody. That's another thing. They don't have that big wide out to go over top. I know Tim Patrick's a taller wide receiver, but we're looking for that guy that can make a play in the crowd. We're looking for that guy that can do something spectacular, but it's not spectacular to him because that's how he's built. And I started to like that, and he finishes the play. Like when you see him in practice, he's catching the pass, he's taking the ball to the end zone. He doesn't care what's going on. If there's some traffic, he's bumping guys, running through guys, and he's finishing at the house, as they used to say. That's good practice because where do we want? We want to be in the end zone. And this is a guy that tries to get to the house, and he did that in the game as well. Finished through players. So excited for him. Excited to see. It was game one, but he's showing up in the games like he's showing up in practice. You see the practice film, you get excited about the practice film. 2 catches, 42 yards. Last time I checked, that's over 20 yards a catch. Those are big plays. That's why they brought him in here.
I like that he relishes blocking downfield, too. If you're going to be a wide receiver on this team, you have to embrace a willingness to block. I mean, you did that in your career. He's a lot like that, at least early on.
You got to love it. I like punishing DBs. I love punishing little safeties. Hell, there's been a couple times I smacked Clay Matthews and a couple of those outside linebackers coming off the edge back when you could do it that way. You got to love it because you know it's a part of the game. Now, you know it's a part of the game. Dave Montgomery will be in there. You will be in short yardage and goal as a big wide receiver. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to get his touches this year. Last time I checked, they're talking about him getting more touches. They're going to have you in there. Can you come down in motion and crack out on an outside linebacker? Can you do that? He seems like he wants to do that. He cares to do that. So I like that because those games when you're not getting passes, those games where you're not having, 2 catches, a half, or you get a touchdown or plays are going your way, you got to find a way to stay engaged. Remember the infamous T.O. quote from years ago? T.O. drops a pass on 4th down at the end of the game. I think he was in Dallas. Well, if they would have came to me earlier, I would have gotten to a rhythm. It's not about rhythm. The rhythm is, look, the ball comes when it comes. This is the NFL, and I know he wish he could have that comment back. The ball comes when it comes, and it may not come to you, especially as a rookie, because I got to get Amon-Ra St. Brown 1,400 yards. I have to get Jameson Williams 1,100 yards. I got to get J-Mo. I have to get Sam Laporta. I insert player that is going to get the ball. So when it comes, make plays, much like a young Puka Nacua did, and he kind of saw where that went. I think that's what we hope this is going. He looks like he has the hair. He has the physicality. He has the build. He's a project, if you will. We're all hoping. It's okay to say it out loud. We all want him to be the next Puka Nacua.
Oh, man. Look, at 6'4", 218 pounds, you trade up to get him, and it's a third-round choice. I have said my philosophy has always been this in the NFL. My first, second, and third rounders should be starters. Everybody else, if they're depth or special teams guys, like Dan Jackson's probably out for the year. He was a 7th-round pick out of Georgia as a safety. That stinks. But if I was relying on a 7th-round pick to be really, really good, I could have an issue. Asanim is a guy who is a 6th-round choice. People feel like, well, he's going to really provide a lot. If I'm relying on a 6th-round pick, and I know there are exceptions to the rule, there's a bit of an issue. But the first 3 rounds, those guys should be starters. And I believe Isaac Tesla, for what they've invested to get him, will be a starter for this team before all is said and done.
Yeah, look, they moved up. And this is not the first time Brad Holmes has moved up. When he moves up, we pay attention to those moves. Jahmyr Gibbs had to work. Jameson Williams had to work. Still hasn't all the way panned out, but it's starting to look like it's panning out. Giovanni Manu, that was another project you did things for. That has to work because when these things don't happen, these are things that people can point to, and it's not being petty. It's not pointing to small things. You made a major move that's got to pay off because what you saw, if you didn't see it the right way, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? I agree. First round, you better start that year. Second round, you better start before the year's over. And third round, they brought you in to replace a guy that's on his way out. So you better start by the time that next season starts. I agree with you 100%.
Do you think Tim Patrick understands that? With what's going on with Tesla?
Understanding it is not the same as not fighting against
or
it.
accepting it. Yeah.
100 exactly. He knows what the move is or what the thought process is, but at the end of the day, does that stop the way he prepares? Like, is that going to stop the way he catches on the jug machine after practice? That he pays attention to detail when he gets his opportunity? Because Jared Goff, he found him last year, and they found the rhythm. He replaced Josh Reynolds in that sense with Tim Patrick. So if he's still putting in the work, it comes with the territory. Yeah, I've been on a team, and they draft a young receiver, and you're like, here we go. You know, and you can take it one of two ways. You say, hey, ain't nobody going to take my spot. Guess what? Your spot will get ran, and you will be on the street looking for a job.
And you know what? You know that we all out here in Lions where we're going to overreact or underreact to everything in preseason. With Isaac Tesla, though, what is it that you're looking forward to seeing in preseason game 2?
I want to start seeing him learn the nuances of being a wide receiver. The same thing we talked about with J-Mo. I want to see the nuances. Like, he didn't get a chance to be a wide out. Can he run a comeback at 18, put his foot in the ground and come back to the sideline? Can he run the dig at 15 to 18 yards and understand what the windows are? Here's cover 2. You can't run that all the way across because here comes the interception. You got to find a window to sit down. If it's man, you got to keep it on the move and keep. Can he run that? Can he adjust and understand? All right, I'm on the inside slot of this. This is a two-way route. If it's cover 2, I take a 12-yard corner route. If it's not, then I got to run a skinny post on that. Can he understand those concepts? He knows how to be an athlete. He knows how to catch the ball. He knows how to do a lot of little things. We got to dial him into the actual art of being a wide receiver. So that's what I want to see as we get to week 2 of preseason, week 3 of preseason, and then the beginning of the season. Can he start turning that corner and look like he's been coached up? Can he look like he's been working with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Can he look like, you know what, Tim, you better watch your job. Because Tim Patrick is no slouch right now.
Yeah.
He's no slouch
That is great insight, man. Great knowledge. Because I think too many times what we do is we look at wide receivers, and we're like, okay, run the go route.
Yeah.
Run the post.
It's more than just
run the drag route. No, you've got to recognize how the defense is playing so you and the quarterback are recognizing the same thing to run the proper route and find the proper window for your quarterback to get you the football.
Also, too, is all you're running is a go route. They know that. That's in the scouting report, which means the DB and the secondary, they will sit on that side. They will sit deep. You'll never get the ball there. Now we're wasting plays.
That's why I can't stand the whole, well, Jamison Williams, here's what he provides. You could take the top off that. He's got to be able to do more than just run. Because there's a lot of guys in the history of the sport who have been able to run. But some of the best wide receivers of all time weren't necessarily known for their speed, right? I mean, Jerry Rice is a different category. Yeah. Steve Largent wasn't known for his speed. That's for damn sure, right? I mean, there are guys who are just really good wide receivers because they think the game's similar to the guy who's throwing them the football.
100%, but that's work you got to put in. Okay. See, not everybody's willing to put that work in. There are a lot of guys like you're talking about that do a lot better in this NFL than guys that have the ability. Guys that come in with the 4.3 and a 6.3 and the blah, blah, blah. So many people have spent time telling them how great they are. They're God's gift to the whatever position you play. You don't put the work in and you get outworked and you get passed by. When you watch film won't lie to you. Film won't lie to your mind. When you can see that in real time, make adjustments because you've been watching a ton of film, now it makes Wes Welker that much faster. Now it makes Cooper Kupp that much faster. Now it makes Hines Ward that much faster or in that spot because they know where to be because they're studying with Ben Roethlisberger. They're studying with Matt Stafford. They're studying with the GOAT.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man. I mean, it's one of those another thing about football that sometimes we don't always really truly comprehend, and we need a refresher on that from athletes and from people who've done it and lived it, like Braylon Edwards. There is a concern for the Lions, and I think it's a fair concern. We'll get to that right after this from our friend Ricky.
Hey. No, you're the only one on this one.
Oh.
There's no double
I still
up.
get cut off.
Somehow
I still get cut off.
This is what happens. I try to send it to him, and he doesn't want it.
Yeah,
he throws it right back.
No,
right.
He said it right
What the hell's going on here?
Kool-Aid just started
He sent it right back.
You said
He ain't want
it. Nah, I'm cutting everybody, Mike. That's what I'm starting doing.
Stay connected with Woodward Sports on all social platforms, man. Follow us, Facebook, X, Instagram. Can't forget about YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Stay up to date. The latest sports news, live updates, and of course that behind-the-scenes action, man. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button right now on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That is at Woodward Sports on all platforms. At Woodward Sports everywhere. We'll be right back.
Summer's heating up and Feldman's clearing space for the incoming new models. That means massive markdowns during Feldman's hot summer sale. Get a 2025 Silverado for just $189 a month, or this 2026 Equinox for just $209 a month. Inventory's moving fast, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't sweat the search. Just get to Feldman. More locations, more inventory, more ways to save. The hot summer sale is on at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Oh my God, I mean, let's go. But that's how it is here. You want representation. You want your guy chosen. Go. As we welcome you back to the Braylon and Shep show.
The fandom's unbelievable.
Let me take a picture. People, you know what?
It's so hard to separate the heart and the mind in sports, don't you think? It really is.
100%. Both of you guys are right.
To separate
That's why I'm so glad that I didn't grow up a diehard Lions fan. So when I sit on this desk and I have conversations, like it's not from me. It's not from a biased space. It's not from a. No, I understand both sides. You know what I'm saying? This is giving you logic. Like the only team I'm probably unlogical or illogical in Detroit is what I think the Red Wings can be, and I even finally gave up on that. So yeah, everybody else like Tigers, I call it like I see it, but diehard Tigers fan, diehard Pistons fans growing up. Other two, you know.
I pride myself on being able to separate my emotions and what I truly believe and what I think.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to have that. All the Detroit teams are my favorite teams, period, and no team is even close. It doesn't mean that I don't think that some of their players can be better, some of the organization can be better. I love Riley Green. I think he is one of, at the beginning of the year, I called him the best left fielder in baseball. He has not been the best left fielder in baseball this year. That doesn't mean I don't like him, doesn't mean I don't root for him, doesn't mean I don't root for the Tigers. It has nothing to do with that. It is about understanding what you're watching at times. So, for example, this is what we're talking about, folks.
Okay.
On ESPN, with people I don't know, they are choosing the best NBA players 25 years or younger. Victor Wembanyama is #1. Does anybody argue with that? I hope not. All right?
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is #2. Does anybody argue with that? I sure as hell hope not. Cade Cunningham came in at #4. That's quite a compliment. Again, by a guy I don't know. It's just his thought. Kool-Aid's out taking pictures of it. This is fantastic. I'm so happy.
Cooper Flag was 5th.
Yeah.
Behind Cade.
Paolo
Coming up.
He didn't play a lick in the NBA yet.
Banchero was 3.
third.
Yeah, he was 3. You can understand why those 3 guys were considered 1, 2, and 3, can't you? I would hope so.
I could. And then they had the guys that got left off on the list. It would be Sengun. It would be Evan Mobley. It would be Chet Holmgren. And it's one of the players. Those are the guys that left off. Yeah, that's fine. That's
Williams, for OKC.
I don't think I put Cooper Flag above Evan Mobley right now, but that's just me.
Or Sengun, maybe.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't proven it. I don't even think he should be on the list.
He doesn't even have a position.
Okay.
Like, I know basketball is a positionless sport now to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that's trying to figure out what the hell he's going to be. Like, his offensive skill set ain't like that. Like, his defense is probably the best thing that he does realistically. He's an athlete that will figure it out. He don't belong on that list.
Yeah, we're putting the proverbial cart before the horse.
Yeah,
this is not, though. injuries are always a concern in football, in any sport,
Especially
right? But
in
especially in football. So Ricky was going crazy that the Jets were tackling for the first time in 3 years in practice.
That is wild.
And when you got 17 games, you know this better than anybody, your body hurts. Your body still might feel it today because of a collision sport. I mean, it's a crash dummy, right? But Enos Rakestraw is out for, at least in Dan Campbell's words, out for a long time.
Did Dan take his hat off and scratch his head when he said it?
I didn't see that.
That's his only tell.
Okay, if that's the tell,
Yeah,
he's
that's
at the
the tell.
poker
That's the
table.
only tell.
He's at the poker table.
Oh, here comes a lie.
And Braylon's saying, you know what? I'm going to call you because I think you're bluffing. Yeah. When you got a guy in the second round and a guy who's supposed to be a depth guy, and at times I would guess at least in the conversation to take over a starting spot, and if you lose one of those guys, this is a blow to this team where we've seen a lot of injuries to this team. Is this just coincidence? What do you think it is?
This is one of those things where you're grasping at straws trying to figure it out. Like, are they overly practicing? Is it just the guy that you drafted? We know Brad Holmes tends to draft guys that have been injured a time or two. We've gotten that before. It's this second-round curse with the exception of Brian Branch and Sam Laporta. Josh Pascal, here we go. Enos Rakestraw, here we go.
Right.
Like, but I just don't know what it is. Like, this is one of those things where I hope he figures it out. But he got hurt last year with the groin. He got hurt last year with the hamstring. He's hurt right now with the hamstring. Like, these things.
The chest injury is what apparently
chest this year.
In drills, yeah.
Sometimes you press. Like, I don't know. I wasn't an individual that got injured like that. I tore my ACL and my meniscus, but I don't know.
When do athletes look at others and say, that dude could be injury prone? I hate that phrase. I do. I can't stand it. I think we use it for guys we don't necessarily like. Yeah. Like, I love Kerry Carpenter. I think he's an awesome dude. That bomb last night, 2 for 4, hitting lefties better than most people thought. Right. Much better than he did earlier in his career. I think he should be in the lineup every single day. He's never played more than 113, 114 games.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. So those are receipts here. Nobody says that about him. They say it about Riley Green, though, and he's played 137 in his career. So a year ago.
You always floor me with these things, Shep.
So I'm wondering why and if athletes ever say that about others.
They say that about guys they don't necessarily put the work in. I don't know those individuals.
Yeah, they put the work in.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on, but usually when a guy says that or a teammate says it about a player, they're always hurt, and they're always doesn't seem like they're putting in the injury. They're doing the bare minimum. They get hurt, a little bit of ice here. They're late to treatment. They don't get extra treatment. They're not living in the treatment room. They're not in the weight room doing the exercises that you can that will help you along the way. Once they get healthy, they're not doing the things once again, and then you see them in there yet again, and they irk you. When you see guys working out, like I saw Chris Jenkins, whose son with the University of Michigan was on the national championship team. And when I was with the Jets, he was an older player, but Chris stayed in there. He stayed. He was a big dude, but he stayed in the equipment room. The training room, getting treatment. I saw him in the weight room. I would see him doing little prehab deals because he had some knee things, and he was doing everything that he could to be on the field. I saw him in film studies. I saw him working with the young defensive linemen, Sione Pua and some of those guys. He's doing everything he could. Just when he goes on the field, he gets injured. Yeah. He tore his ACL one year I was there. He tore his meniscus another year. He tore his labrum. Some guys, but because of what you see, that's a guy you just pray for. You pray for everybody, but that's a guy in which you're like, let me wrap my arms around you because I know it just can't be good for you. Some guys, they just going through the motion, and they get hurt, and you're like, I wonder why you're hurt. Mm-hmm. I wonder why you're hurt. You're out all night. You're not putting in the work. You're not doing the little things. So
certain things you recognize.
Yeah.
You just brought up Michigan. Preseason coaches poll, they're 14. Overrated, underrated, in your mind going in. First of all, let me just say this: I hate preseason polls. I think it's a joke. You don't know a damn.
Shep hates a lot.
No, I'm serious. You don't know a damn thing about these teams.
We need a segment for Shep.
We don't know a damn thing about these teams.
Well, you don't know now because of all the transfer portal and NIL. But back in the day, you knew. Back in the day, you going into the season.
You lose a lot of guys. You lose a lot of guys, and you're thinking there's going to be some type of bullcrap momentum carryover because at the end of the year you beat Ohio State and Alabama.
So you're talking about for Michigan?
Yeah, I'm just talking about for Michigan right now.
Yeah, 14. 14's fine. Like at the end of the day, do I really care? No, it's 14. Like, it's not 10. It's not 7. It's 14. Like 14 is very attainable. Like to be 14, you can lose 3 games. And what Michigan is, I believe that 3 is floating where I think they'll be. I think they'll be 9-3 to 10-2. That's just me. I think it's fair. Bryce Underwood, that'll be the only thing. What will he be? I think even with Bryce, if Bryce doesn't work out in the beginning and they make a move, and there's still 2-3 loss team. 14's fine.
Yeah, it's such a tough team to get a handle on because you lose Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham up front, Will Johnson on the back end, even though he didn't play a lot.
He's having a camp.
He's had a good camp.
Will Johnson's having a camp. Receivers out there in Arizona can't get off the line of scrimmage. Marvin Harrison Jr., sorry, son. Same thing that happened when you was in Ann Arbor. Will is locking it down up there. Kudos to him because he slipped in the draft, and I want him to make his mark and let him know, sometimes injuries, they are a real deal.
Yeah, me too. I think he's a really good guy, and always root for the locals, right? Grosse Pointe South, so good for him. And then Colston Loveland. I mean, that's a lot of talent. Not to mention the 2 running backs. We had the picture of you and Donovan Edwards earlier, Khalil Mullings. That's a lot of talent to try and replace. So that's why I wonder, overrated, underrated. I would probably go slightly overrated at this stage right now, just based on that type of information.
And that would be fair. The only reason why I stick it at 14 and say it's fine, you still got the guy that coached you in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. You got Sharon Moore. Whether you believe in him or not, whether you believe 2 years ago it was still on Jim, which, essentially it was. I like what he's done. The team buys into him. You're asking me about Aaron Glenn and the Jets and the players and what they see. This team loves Sharon. They talk about Sharon. They hang with Sharon. And I don't think it's fake like other situations have been in the past. And also, you brought in some damn good players. That is the power of the transfer portal. And the NIL. You brought in the twins from Arkansas. I can't wait to see what they do on the defensive side of the ball. You got some defensive ends to replace. Can't replace Mason Graham, but you can replace some of that defensive line. And the offensive line will be more experienced. You'll have an older offensive line. You lost 6 offensive linemen going into that season last season. Great point. You had 5 guys that were fresh. 5 guys that were fresh. So now these guys have experiment. You bring some other guys in. This is going to be good. You got some secret weapons, as I like to say, too.
Yeah, they do have some guys who played a lot of snaps last year on the defensive side. It sure seemed like they found some type of secret sauce, Braylon Edwards' word, with Wink Martindale. Chip Lindsey's their new OC. There's got to be an adjustment there.
I love Wink Martin. Like Martindale. He has one of my favorite sayings, and I got a chance to say it to him, and him say it back to me. He said, "Boy, that boy can throw, man. Son of, he can throw a strawberry through a battleship." Like first time I heard that, I said, "Oh my God, this is amazing.
That's amazing.
This is amazing." So when I was at Sharon's golf outing, I walked up to him. I said, "What's up, Coach?" He said, "Hey, you big SOB." I said, "Coach," I said, "You got you one that can throw a strawberry through a battleship." He said, "He can do it. He's going to do it." Like so, I like Wink Martindale, and then Lindsey. It worked for Wink Martindale, and I can't understand why it didn't work for him and why the New York Giants, shocker, moved on for him. But thank you. They brought him to a system in which the 2 guys that left before that, he taught the system to them. Right. It's his system. So you started to see that success last year. So he'll be fine. And on the offensive side of the ball, only time will tell. Like 14 may be high in your words, and that's cool. Only time will tell. I think 14 will be fine.
At least, like you said, the offensive line. That might talk some Michigan fans off that shelf. Because if you're going to have some depth, if you're going to have some experience, that's where you want it to be. Let's get to the mailbag here on this Tuesday afternoon on the Braylon Edwards Show. Kool-Aid, what do we got in the
chat
mailbag?
family, get those mailbag questions in. We did have some super chats that came in. It was at least a couple that came in, and I see one here. Sidelines, he was when I believe Joe Hollywood was on earlier, he was asking, were you shipping with painter's tape back then as it related to some of the stuff that he was sending out, some of the memorabilia and the cards and such?
Yeah,
so,
as a kid when he was sending out checks.
Yes.
Yeah, handwritten checks, and what were they getting back? Yeah, I mean, he was so fun to talk to, wasn't he? Yeah, he really was.
Awesome.
Easy energy, too.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Man, chat, definitely go ahead and get those, get the mailbags in, man. Shep and Bray are up here to ready to answer your questions. I saw some Lions stuff in, so if you guys have anything, especially for Bray, on what to look forward to this second week, get into the chat, man.
Yeah, we'll be addressing that later on this week for sure. I did want to get into it. Might be a little late, but CBS Sports had an interesting poll out, and that was the top 10 players at each defensive position. Okay? So, for example, the top defensive tackles. Would Aleem McNeil be in there? I think he would be, but he's hurt, and he got hurt last year, I don't think he's in there now, and he's not.
He was on his way.
Right, for sure.
He was on
Edge
his way.
rusher, all right? Where do you think Aiden Hutchinson's in that ranking, if at all, despite his injury a year ago?
This is top 5 or top?
This is top 10.
Top 10. I'd say 6.
Pretty damn close.
I'd say 6.
Pretty damn close. He's at 5.
Okay.
Okay? Then they go around linebackers. Do the Lions have any linebackers in the top 10?
No.
That's correct. The answer, at least according to this poll, they don't have any. What about cornerbacks? Do they have any corners in the top 10?
Maybe.
I'm trying not to be biased. That's why I'm not answering.
I would say maybe.
Shep's got me nervous.
I'd say maybe, and if they do, he'd be 9. He'd be 10. He would just be in
DJ
there.
Reed or something?
DJ Reed.
Yeah, he's not. So
Okay.
they don't have any. Safeties. Do both of them?
2 and 5.
Boy, you're pretty damn close. 2 and 4.
Okay.
Okay. Who's ranked higher?
Brian Branch.
That's correct.
Steal of the draft.
I'm not moving off my point.
Steal of the draft.
He will be
Steal
the
of
best
the
defensive
decade.
player on the Detroit Lions. If he's not, he is already.
I absolutely love him. So if of all the guys that Lions fans have talked about, how are we going to have enough money to sign certain guys? Aiden Hutchinson, I think, is the first guy you have to resign. Brian Branch, to me, is the second guy. Now, they've already spent a lot of money on Kirby Joseph. You could argue you need that running back because of the juice that he adds to the offense. I love Brian Branch. I think he's a phenomenal player. He's a throwback to me, and they got him ranked 2, and here's what they say. He may not be the biggest or the fastest, but Branch ensures you feel the Lions' defense with scrappy sideline-to-sideline attitude. I don't know what the hell that means. I just know he's a football player.
Sideline means, look,
He's just everywhere.
He's everywhere, man. Like, it doesn't matter what the play
Well,
is.
I meant the attitude, like sideline-to-sideline attitude. You know, he's got
to be there.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be there. Like, no, he's a great player. Like, he reminds me a lot of Brian Dawkins. Like, and I played against Brian
good
Dawkins.
one.
Like, I played against Brian Dawkins. And he's one of the players.
Wow, that would be great.
Like, he's one of those safeties where I had, like, marked my calendar certain people that I want to face in the secondary based off how good their careers are, and just want to test my mettle. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of those safeties for me. Obviously, I played in the AFC North, so I didn't have to want to play Troy or Ed. But Brian Dawkins was all over the place. His character's Wolverine. He runs out doing the Wolverine thing, and Weapon X is what his alter ego was. He was freakishly, insanely, crazily, physically dialed into everything.
I love
that.
that.
He was sharp, he was physical, but he wasn't out of control. That is the big thing that happens when guys play like Brian Branch. Troy Polamalu, as great as he was, first ballot Hall of Fame, one of the best safeties ever, out of control. They show you all the Troy Polamalu highlights.
Yes.
But they don't show you all the lowlights. Like him jumping over the infamous play. He does that all the time. He didn't get it all the time.
That's why many people feel like Ed Reed was better.
First of all, it's not even close. Ed Reed was way better.
Yeah.
Like way better. I'm not gonna say way, but way better. Bob Sanders is another one of these
good
smaller Weapon X type players. But Bob and Brian Dawkins, they play under control. They could lay the big hit, but they can just make the tackle if they needed to. They can make the pass break up. They can check if you wanted to. Those guys can't cover.
Sanders
like
just
Brian
got hurt a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Bob,
we were just
it ended his career.
Yeah,
concussions.
for sure.
Well, when you're 5, because I played against him in Iowa too. When you're 5'8", 5'9", compactedly 220, and you're coming up on tight ends in the NFL that are at that time 6'5", 260, 6'5", 250. Running backs are going 6 foot, 230, 220. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
So when you bring up Brian Dawkins, who I think is fantastic, and a little out of control with some of the other names you've brought up, I would say like Steve Atwater was one of my favorite players, safety for the Denver Broncos,
and he played for the New York Jets.
Yeah, but just he was an absolute beast from the safety spot.
Christian Okoye was a whole thing. Oh, he was a cultural icon in that little short window, maybe 89 to 93. He's a cultural, what's he called, a cult classic. He's 250. He runs essentially 4.4. Nobody want to stop him. The Nigerian Nightmare. Insert Steve Atwater, 27, the powder blue Denver helmet.
Loved it.
Don't worry. I got something for him.
Yeah.
Hit him. Christian Okoye was never the same.
Yeah. Christian Okoye would square the shoulders up, and most people would want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So Kirby Joseph is 4. Here's what they say about Joseph. Is the current chief at snagging passes, giving the Lions a bona fide center field ball hawk with 17 picks in 3 years. My fear sometimes is that we always view him as a guy who just, intercepts passes, and he gets shortchanged on some of the other aspects of his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Last year, I think he took a step. We had this conversation a lot last year because everybody was on the Kirby Joseph bandwagon before the season started. I was not. I needed more. Because at the end of the day, for me, he can ball hawk, but is that all you're doing? Your job is to lead the defense. Like, can you tackle? Can you blitz off the edge? Can you be in the places? Can you lead the defense? Like, I saw a lot of highlights, but I also saw a lot of lowlights too. A lot of missed tackles. I saw a lot of situations he was out of position. I saw balls go over his head, and he was trying to figure out where the hell to be. Last year, he took that step. I think in major games, he made big plays, and I think the biggest game for me was the Houston Texans game. Like, you can see it snapped and it clicked in that moment, and it never turned off.
Keeping them in the game when
100%.
It was getting out of control at the half. Yeah.
This is the infamous play. Dan Campbell was getting interviewed. It's the delay interview. He said, man, we need an interception or something right here. Kirby Joseph gets the interception. Obviously, you know how that delay works.
Changes everything. Yeah.
But he was tackling. He was everywhere he was supposed to be. He was getting guys out of bounds, and he wasn't letting his trash talk get him caught up. I saw that in his first couple years. He talked trash and get out of play. Like, that's when you get good, when you can talk the talk in between the plays, and then when the play starts, you still be where you're supposed to be.
I was going to say, even to back that up, I know Carlton Davis also in that Houston Texans game got one of those interceptions, and I wonder how much of that is the quarterback knowing Kirby Joseph, ball hawk, is back there. I know in that 20s, in those red zones, you don't want to test that, man, but I do wonder. We saw Carlton Davis. We saw even Amik Robertson, even Terry Arnold, able to be in position to get interceptions, whether they got it or not. And I wonder how much you got Brian Branch and you got the ball hawk Kirby Joseph back there, how much that helps these cornerbacks.
I tell people this all the time. Like, Darrelle Revis is one of the best defensive backs of all time. Now, I don't agree with people have him ranked, but he's one of the best I saw. I played with him, played against him, the whole 9 yards. In 2009, the infamous season where they said he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Now, I don't agree with that because they would have had to take that trophy from Charles Woodson, and I don't agree with that 100%. But Kerry Rhodes was the safety for the New York Jets. Kerry was so good in the space. He knew what was going on like Kirby is now. He allowed Revis, hey, look, I got you. Even though I'm supposed to be way over here, go ahead, play man-to-man. I'll cover your back because my range is that freaky. Like, that's what Kirby Joseph can do. Because of the range he has, because of him understanding, hey, look, DJ, go ahead, man up on that. I know it's supposed to be this, but you do that, you'll have some success because I'll back you. And then also, when you get scared of safeties, you try to throw balls in tighter windows, smaller spaces, and you try to throw it quick before safeties get over there. Well, that's where your DBs got to step up. That's why they bought DJ Reed in and paid him $14 million a year. That's why you drafted Terry Arnold. You moved up to 22 because you believed in what he was. They have to take those stances because Kirby and Branch will make it easier for them on the outside this year.
Love that, man. And love having you back, of course.
Good
the
to be back, man.
Show.
The magic,
we'll be back
baby.
with you tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 4 here on Woodward Sports. It's the Braylon Edwards Show. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. And again, thanks to Joe Hollywood for coming in. If you missed any of that, man, check it out because he had some really insightful stuff. We're back with you tomorrow afternoon. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody.
That's right.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
The ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.